And we're back, guys. Tennis in a minute. I'm your host, Good Energy. We're going to talk Coco, the quarterfinals at the Indian Wells, and maybe a little bit of Emma Raducanu. As always, this video is brought to you via the Doctrine of Fair Use, the Fair Dealing, and the Digital Millennium Mac. Coco Gauff eliminated from the Indian Wells. She will not make the quarterfinal as Belinda Bencic from Switzerland, the hard-hitting baseliner. She comes back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I posted in the community, if you got the message, look, Coco, I told you I didn't like her numerology. I could see that she was going to lose this match against Belinda, come out to a fast start, which is exactly what she did. But, I could see that she would lose this match. And a lot of people in the comments are wondering what's going on. Listen, my simple explanation without getting too in-depth is it just wasn't her day. Simple as that. Now, listen, guys. A lot of people, Coco gets the most criticism on the channel, for sure. We all know this is a big Coco channel. There's a lot of supporters. But I'm going to give you my big concerns. Now, this match here against Belinda, 8 double faults, right? We know the matches she played this tournament, 21 double faults, 9 double faults, 8 double faults. I mean, through 3 matches, we're talking, what? It's a lot of double faults. We're talking about literally 12 double faults per match on average. That's 4 free service games she's giving out, or 3. 3 free service games on average she's giving out. That's a lot of free points to give your opponent and then have to come back and win the match, right? Now, Belinda did have 3 double faults in that match, but Coco gave her a free service game. That's the difference in the match. Historically, when she's at her best, she's winning 80% of her first serves and holding 80% of her service games. Only 69% of her first serves in play. Only winning 78% of her first serves that match against Belinda. And losing nearly 70% of her second serves. The difference really was 1 break. Coco was perfect on break points, 2 for 2. Belinda, 3 for 5. So really it came down to 1 break. Now, I knew Coco would win the first set. I did. And it's very rare you're going to see Coco Gauff as a pick'em against any opponent. That's just not going to happen. So I knew Coco would start fast, but I knew Belinda, even though she lost the first set, I knew Belinda was going to win the match. I could calculate the numerology. If I have the time, I can do it, but it takes a lot of time, a lot of research. Belinda, she was just meant to win this match. It's as simple as that. Right now, I don't want you guys to criticize Coco and get on her. She's 11-4 in the season. Yes, Iga and Sabalenka, they're at about 16, 17 wins respectively. I feel my personal opinion. Now, Belinda is a good player. The head-to-head now is 2-2. She beat Coco when she was 16 at the Adelaide. It went 3 sets. Coco's defeated Belinda the last 2 times since that first meeting at DC. She destroyed her. At the Australian Open this year, she beat her in 3. Now, Coco said in her own words, look, she's working hard. She's putting in the work, and she feels that the results are coming, but not fast enough, so to speak. Not exactly in those words, but that's basically what she wants the public to know. And I'm here to tell you that, look, because a lot of people, when Coco loses, especially after this match against Belinda, they're really upset, and they're coming for Coco. And I'm here to tell you that, look, it wasn't her day. It's as simple as that. But I also want to let you know that Coco has a lot going on. And even though out of all the ladies I've seen this week, Coco worked the hardest. She put in the most work. You got to understand that she's a business as well. She has more going on than any other player on tour by far. She's required. She's obligated. She's needed by everyone. Like every media outlet that's associated with the WTA, they want a piece of Coco. She has her own businesses. She has her own philanthropy, her own things going on. And she got a birthday right around the corner, right? She's going to be 21. Happy early birthday for Coco. But listen, guys, I feel personally, because she's so popular, it's going to take away time from her game, right? Players like Belinda, who, by the way, is just super duper hot. Belinda Bencic, this is her second top 5 win of the year. She beat Elina Rybakina earlier in the year. She also has won 17 of her last 21 matches. She's hot. She's playing very good tennis. And the reality here is that in 2 of those losses have come to Alicia Parks and Coco. But she's a good player. And I do feel, yeah, it's possible Coco could have won this match. She should have won the match. But I felt the conditions as well with everything going on. It's tough. I mean, she's 21, right? She's 21 now. But the reality here is she has so much going on that I feel it's possibly taking away time from her practice, which is why I was and not necessarily taking away time from her practice, but maybe a little bit of focus. So she does have a mental health coach that she travels with now. I feel that's helping her. To see the double faults come back, I probably say that's the biggest thing I'm disappointed at, because I thought we kind of turned that page. I thought we kind of got past the 21 double faults, the double-digit double faults. So that's probably the only thing I'm disappointed as, or should I say with, is the double faults. But other than that, I think she's doing a great job just coping with everything she has going on. She's a rock star. She's a superstar. And that's tough. It's challenging for anyone to juggle and manage all of those things. But she's 11-4. And I want to tell you guys, there's no reason Coco's not going to win every tournament. She's not going to win every slam. Serena didn't win every tournament. She didn't win every slam. She didn't win every match. So I want you guys to just stop the hate, stop the criticism. She played her best. Belinda was just better yesterday, right? So let's congratulate Belinda, because Belinda had nothing but classy things to say about Coco in the post-match interview. If you missed it, Belinda said, Coco, there's a reason she's ranked number 3 in the world. There's a reason she's been as high as number 2 in the world. She's very good. She's always tough to play. She's a very good player. And this was a very difficult match. But she said, look, she had nothing to lose. She said, look, she's already won, right? She's 28 years old. She has a beautiful child. She's a mother, and she said she's just thankful for the wild card. She's already won. So this is the type of matchup where you have a player that has nothing to lose. They're going to play a little bit more riskier. They're going to step up, especially down a set. Everything goes out the window. Look, I'm just going to hit as hard as I can and close my eyes and just hope Coco makes a mistake or hope I hit a winner. Not literally, but the reality here is she had nothing to lose and she did her best. And I just want to let you guys know, Coco is fine. She's going to be She's going to be fine. And because a lot of her points are on the back end of the year, yes, if she possibly could have won one of the earlier tournaments this year besides the United Cup, there's a chance she could be in number 2 or number 1, because Iga and Svitolina, now that they're still in the quarterfinals, they're going to gain points and widen their lead over Coco. But you have to remember, guys, Coco's points are on the back end of the year. So these next couple months, as long as she does well, she will continue to pick up points and at least keep her ranking or move up. So she has nothing to worry about. And historically, Coco has played her better tennis towards the end of the year. And if you guys are wondering how that happens, and this is why I was upset that she didn't possibly play one of the earlier 500s, because if she could have kept her form, then we're looking at Coco becoming number 1 being inevitable. But the reality here is the reason why, and I've played a lot of seasons, a lot of tournaments, the players that find their form towards the end of the season are the most dangerous, right? And those are the players, a lot of times you have a lot going on. You have a lot of obligations, a lot of media, press, sponsors, just appearances, things you have to do. The schedule's so busy that when you slowly, each tournament, get better and better and better, and when you find your form, you're going to be dangerous. But congratulations to Belinda. She pulled it off. She won 69% of her first serves, and that really was the difference. I mean, or should I really just say, because Coco's first serve was a lot better, just under 80%. I really say it was the second serve. Belinda won 50% of her second serves, and she won 67% of Coco's second serve. And that one extra break point was really the difference. Let's talk about Madison Keys, guys. Congratulations to Belinda. Coco will be just fine, okay, guys? She will win several tournaments this year. And I think indoor Saudi Arabia, she's going to defend that title as well. Don't worry about Coco. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on her. Because like Belinda said, look, she has nothing to lose. She's thankful. It's just a game, guys. Now, Madison Keys, Another scare, guys. 7 aces against Donna Vekic, and she gets the job done by winning 68% of her first serves and 60% of Donna's second serves. Madison Keys, guys, gets the job done. We're going to take a look at her next matchup coming up. That's going to be a showdown. We'll talk about that prediction video coming soon, as Madison Keys, she's going to be taking on a hard hitter, ladies and gentlemen. Aryna Sabalenka, she gets the win over Cartel. The lucky loser, her run ends as Sabalenka wins 74% of her first serves, 5 for 8 on breakpoint opportunities. Sabalenka's going to have a tough match coming up. We're going to talk that as well, as she's going to be taking on Ludmila, where that head-to-head is 2-2. That prediction video is coming up. I do feel Sabalenka, again, she practiced really hard with Coco. I got the opportunity to see them both up close. Sabalenka, she hits so hard. She has so much power that even if she starts off these slams or tournaments slow, she finds her form by just winning another match. And I just feel Sabalenka gets scarier and scarier as the tournament goes on. That tiger on her arm, she's relentless and she doesn't hold back. And I feel a lot of players on tour would do better if they just block out the crowd, block out the criticism, not care about the haters, and just play their game and just scream and let it all out. Sabalenka's scary. Now, I talked about Ludmila just dominating Paolini over the years, and Ludmila was the underdog in this match. Now, I know I don't do the numeric locks anymore, and the prediction videos. It's because I just felt, for the most part, people come here because they just want to hear recaps on the matches and me talk about the players and the news stories in tennis. So I don't do the numeric locks anymore, but this was without a doubt a numeric lock. Actually, Belinda was a numeric lock over Coco as well. I don't like to give those out because there's so many Coco fans here, but this was a numeric lock. Paolini, she struggles against Ludmila. She cannot handle her pace. She cannot handle her power. And it's just her redirecting. She's got low balls, high balls. Paolini can't find a rhythm against Ludmila, and it's sad to watch because I love Jasmine so much. Little Italy, aka Ciao Bella. This is the worst matchup for Jasmine. I told you guys, Ludmila, Jasmine's just gonna struggle against Ludmila. She can't beat Ludmila. She's gonna have to make some serious adjustments. I think she's going to have to change her game plan specifically for Ludmila because it's just a bad matchup. Stylistically, matchup styles make fights. This is just a bad matchup for Jasmine, and I hate watching her play Ludmila. Ludmila's fired up, guys. She's going to be taking on Sabalenka, where that head-to-head is 2-2. The difference between Sabalenka and someone like Paolini, of course, size, power, athletic ability. Sabalenka is going to stretch the court with power and speed and velocity, and I don't know if Ludmila is going to be able to cover that. But the Italian fans disappointed today as Ludmila, she destroyed Paolini, and I hate to see that. But let's talk some predictions, guys. We got Iga Swiatek taking on Qinwen Zheng. Now, the head-to-head is 6-1 for Iga. We all know the most important matchup they've played probably came this past summer at the Paris Olympics, where Qinwen Zheng upset Iga Swiatek in straight sets 6-2, 7-5 to go on to win gold. I was sad for Iga. I don't like to see Iga lose because I know she's such a competitor. She wants to do everything to win. She tries so hard. Look, we like that she's such a fierce competitor and she wants to win. We want to see you win, right? You work hard. We want to see your hard work pay off. It was sad to see her lose to Qinwen after dominating her, and no one thought Iga was going to leave Paris without gold. But Qinwen did. Now, Qinwen Zheng, she likes to talk trash, and she said, in terms of Iga Swiatek, what happened last time doesn't matter. She needs to figure out her game, see how she's playing now, and make proper adjustments. So Iga Swiatek talking about the Middle Eastern swing of the tour. Let's just say Africa. I hate how they term that geographic area, the Middle East. It's Africa if we go back historically. It's Africa. Listen, guys, she said she played so horribly on that stretch of the tour, slamming her racket down, getting bounced out by Elina. She just felt she didn't play her best tennis. She was frustrated, but she's back playing good tennis. Now, Ludmila and Sabalenka, the head-to-head is 2-2. The last time they played was in Cincy, where Sabalenka won that in straight sets a couple years ago. They played a few years ago in Montreal. where we saw Ludmilla win that in 3. I do think that Ludmilla is going to have to go to the drop shot to beat Sabalenka. So stay tuned. That's going to be a good match. Mirra and Andreeva, she's going to take on Svitolina for the first time. Mirra talked about this possibly being an awkward matchup. We all know the war's going on. But Mirra talked about just focusing on her game, not letting in any distractions, anything not related to the match disrupt her game plan. Belinda against Madison Keys. Listen, again, tough head-to-head. It's 2-2. Last time they played was in Charleston on clay, where I met Belinda in Charleston. Very sweet woman, always classy. She had nothing but sweet things to say about Coco. That's the classy, sweet Belinda I know about in these interviews. She speaks so eloquent. She speaks so beautifully and just so sweet. I do think that Belinda may struggle against Madison Keys. Madison's going to have the home crowd like Coco did. But at Madison Keys, if she can stretch the court with her forehand, then I think that's going to be the key there. Belinda's going to have to attack the backhand of Madison Keys. I feel that makes her a little bit stationary. That makes her a little bit more hittable target. Even though it is a strong, powerful backhand, I think Madison, when her forehand's on, the way she could stretch the court against Belinda, because Charleston is a clay court, but it really plays like a hard court. I've been on the courts. They're just, it's not clay. It's like rocky, and you can't really slide in Charleston. So it's a slow court for sure, but it's definitely one of the faster clay courts. And I just felt that gave Belinda a little bit of opportunity to be able to just kind of stand in there against Madison's power, where and then again, if you look at these hard courts, even though they've tried to mimic the U.S. Open courts here at the Indian Wells, a lot of people like Novak think they play, and Medvedev think they play like clay courts. So I think that's why we're seeing some of the players that aren't necessarily the best movers go deep in this tournament. But nonetheless, guys, let's start some predictions. Qinwen Zheng, Iga Swiatek. Listen, as much as I love Qinwen Zheng, Iga Swiatek is playing well. She's playing good tennis. And I like Iga to come out and set the tone here. And Iga's going to be upset. She's going to be trying to get revenge. I like Iga to win the first set against Qinwen Zheng. Qinwen's going to put together a good game plan. Now, Ribas is back. He beat Iga Swiatek with Coco as her coach, going back to Cincinnati, the Western and Southern Open a couple years ago. He knows how to play Iga Swiatek. So they're going to have a good game plan, but I think Iga's going to win the first set. Qinwen's going to have to do that in 3 if she's going to beat Iga. Mirra and Svitolina. Svitolina's been one of the most vocal players about the Ukrainian-Russian war. She's not going to want to come in here and lose his 16-year-old. I mean, their president in Ukraine, he's being destroyed by Trump and American politicians. I don't think that's fair. I think it's not his fault the war started. The reality here is both countries could have done things to help prevent the war. But when Russia's just taking land and doing whatever they want and just ignoring these treaties, and look, they're claiming the same thing. It's just, look, I don't know. There's a lot of propaganda. I'm not in these rooms, these discussions. I don't know what's true or what's not. But what I do know is that this is going to be a battle, and Svitolina is not going to want to lose to Mirra and Andreeva. I like, as the underdog, I like Svitolina to win a set here. Mirra's nearly a 3-1 favorite. I think Svitolina is going to win at least a set, and I think she's probably going to win the match. Svitolina is going to play hard, but Mirra's very fast and athletic, and Svitolina is going to have problems covering ground, but I think she can at least win a set. Ludmilla and Sabalenka is going to be a tough match because I don't think overall Ludmilla moves well. I just think that her power and her pace is just too much for someone like a smaller opponent like Jasmine to handle, and that just buys her time, especially on these slower courts, to be able to deal with Jasmine's athletic ability. Sabalenka does move better than Ludmilla, and she has a lot more power than Paolini. Ludmilla is going to have a tough time in this match. I do think Ludmilla can win, though, but I'm going to take Sabalenka to win the first set, and Sabalenka should prevail. Bencic and Madison Keys, it's going to be a good match. Bencic has the power to hang in there with Madison Keys. She just beat Coco, the best mover on tour, even though these courts are horrible. I think Belinda can beat Madison Keys outright in this spot, but I'm going to go with Madison to come out and set the tone and win the first set. That's the pick, guys. Enjoy. Thank you for the love and support. Like the video. Show some love. See you soon.